If you're starting to brand yourself right now, you may think you need a logo, but more than that, you need to understand your own story. In today's video, I'll help you with a framework to develop this story in 3 easy steps. Every story we have is unique, and when we talk about marketing ourselves, we need to find the aspects that make us unique in the market. So if there's something so easy as telling your story the right way, why not to use it? To start this video, I want you to click the link I have in my description to download the framework, print it if you can, or airdrop it to somewhere you can write upon so you can take notes and take this journey with me. But before we start and talk about your story, I want you to think about other brands you know and how they started. There are several companies that only have the space they have in our minds and hearts because we know the reason why they started. I want you to think about Ben and Jerry's. Two friends, they do an ice cream course through mail. They open their first store at a gas station, a vintage gas station, and years later they are all over the country helping people to get happier moments. I want you to think about the big brands you know. There is certainly something you know about their story or how they've developed. And even if it's not the founder's story, there's a reasoning behind it. There's a storytelling behind it. And you may be thinking right now, Lucas, but I'm recalling Nike here and I have no idea what's their story. I want you to remember that we're not talking about the founder's story only or how the company has started. When we think about stories and narratives, in Nike's example, we are talking about winning. We are talking about all these athletes we see over and over wearing Nike. So now, think about other brands. Think about the brands you're using today, the brands you've used for cooking, for going to work, for writing down things. All these brands tell you a narrative. And when they build that, when they get that space in your mind and your heart, they are not going away that easily. So if you're starting your personal brand, yesterday I was listening to a podcast and they said that we shouldn't call it personal brand, but reputation design. And I like it, even though I'm sticking to personal brand. I think designing your reputation is a way to see it because it's how people perceive you, how people remember you, but more than that, how you want people to have that memory. In today's framework, you'll see that there are 3 sessions. The first one is start, the second one is shift, and the third one is mission. On the first one, in your origin, I want you to think about the place that you're coming from. I want you to think about your family, your roots. I want you to think about your culture. I'm originally from Brazil, but from a very small city called Serafina. This city is rooted in Italian tradition. We've gone to the mass and listened to people speak Italian. If you go to the supermarket, you'll see that the prices are written with the name of the things in Italian. And I used to listen to the radio and I wouldn't tell if that was like the Italian dialect that people talk in the city or if it was just Portuguese, which is Brazil's official language. So when I go through it and I think about having a company called Serafina and helping clients all over the world, this is something that shaped me and that helped me have a bit of Italian design with Brazilian creativity for foreign markets. And I think that there are certainly several components in your story, several ingredients that could be used in your favor. So try to go back a little bit, try to think back and remember, what is your story? What are the main characters in it? Besides you, who helped you? Who shaped your vision? Who shaped your vision? Who shaped your future? Go back and try to remember, try to take a few notes and think about it. What motivated you to take your first steps? And I'm not only talking about career, but to be brave, to be curious enough. If you are an entrepreneur right now and you have the audacity of not just signing up for a 9-to-5 job, there is certainly an energy in you that is different. And this is the energy I'm talking about right here. What is triggering that? What is igniting all that passion? There is certainly a start to it. And make sure you remember what it is, because this is something that no one will be able to take from you. And I want you to have that as your sexy component, if you want to put it that way. I want you to have that as the most pressured treasure because that's the beginning of all of it. And without it, you wouldn't be the brand or the professional you are right now. So feel that, take a few notes, and let's not only talk about the way things started, but let's go to the shift part. In that second square right here, you're talking about a flip. You're talking about the plot twist. When we think about Harry Potter, when we think about Lord of the Rings, I don't know, just remember a movie you like. There is certainly a plot twist. This is not part just of the hero's journey. That's something you can search about and go further into designing your story. But this is also part of human nature. We don't like to stick to things the way they are. There's certainly something that bothers you. There's certainly something that you see that is different or could be different in the industry you are entering right now. And when you analyze it, I'm sure something burns. There's something that triggers you, and it's like, why isn't this differently? Why are people spending so much time, money, and effort in it if this could be different? In my case, when I talk about branding, this is one of the things I was most intrigued about. It's why do people take so long to realize that branding is talking about who they are? Branding is defining who they are to show this to the world. It's the space they are renting on another person's mind. But why do we have to make it so hard when we could have conversations like this and help each other see themselves differently? So when I started Serafina, I was like, okay, I'll stick to it. I'll try to make marketing and branding something more simple. I'll try to have frameworks like this for people to develop themselves. And this is something I want you to keep in mind. I'm not only talking about myself here to show this as an example. I want you to think about what are the tools, what are the resources I have that can help other people have this shift with me. Because while you're thinking about it, you're starting slowly to move to the third square. In the third square we have here, it's what we call mission. You may have not experienced your shift yet, and this is something common. If you are a student, if you are still in college, in university, or if you have just started in the field that you want to work with for, I won't say the rest of your life, but for a longer time, you may still be looking for your shift. And it's okay. If that shift is not in yet, don't worry. Think about the mission first, and then you can move back one square and rethink what's the shift. Sometimes what changes everything still hasn't happened. So don't worry about it. Go back to mission. And when you think you found something that bothers you enough, that may be your shift. But moving forward and going to the mission square, what you see there is the following question. What do you stand for? And standing for something, it's not your beliefs and it's not just what you defend. When I think about this question, I want you to think about what do you believe that other players in industry could be doing differently? When we talk about marketing, people straightly go to generating leads, making bigger conversions, reaching more people. But I don't want you to think about that right now. I want you to see marketing differently. I don't want you to think about the leads you're generating, but the people you're helping. Every business finds true value in helping people, in making things happen for other people. There's a very famous quote that says, do you want to be a millionaire? Make other people millionaires. And I truly believe on that. If we have a purpose so big, if there's a value so big in what we're doing, your company will be valuable. Your brand will be valuable. In the market, we pay for the things that help us, that change our reality, that change our lives. So when you go back and start designing your brand story, you have your origin, you have your start, you have the shift, and you have how things change and how you decided to make things change for you. And then you have the mission. You have this pact with yourself about the people you're helping, how you're helping them, what you're making in their lives. And if you have that mission crystal clear, I'm sure people will see your brand as valuable because there's value for them in it. So it's logical. If they have value, if they are extracting something from it, they will certainly pay you better, they will notice you better, and recognize your work and effort to make their lives better. So when you feel these 3 steps, I'm sure you have a clear vision of your story and how you can use that in your brand. As I said in the beginning, these 3 boxes you're filling are not everything in your branding strategy. However, if they're crystal clear, I can tell you, you are 95% ahead of your competitors, because all I see every day is companies that are big, that have few employees taking care of their marketing, but are still not sure of who they are. So if you can help yourself finding your own story, if you can design your storytelling, that's so big. So take a few moments, write down a few sentences, share it with someone you like. So I hope you go ahead and take the first step. So if you like today's video, please subscribe to the channel. Leave me in the comments a few of your answers so I can see if I'm really helping you. And stay tuned. I'm bringing more frameworks, more activities to this channel, and I hope them can make your brand stronger. Thank you very much.